I mean, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. But let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures. And look at her track record. How many times does she have to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she's...
And so for me, it's just better to not have anything to do with any of that. In her own words, no one is above the law, so something will come of it or it won't, but it's very sad. I don't wish that kind of shit on anybody. I mean, that's got to be hard. They have kids, like, it's awful.
And once you get lawyers involved, it's just the lawyer.
The day the scandal broke seemed like any other, coffee in hand, browsing the morning headlines. But then, something caught my attention. Sunny Hostin's name was making waves. And it wasn't about her fiery takes on The View *. This time, the spotlight was on her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, the well-known orthopedic surgeon, and his practice, Host Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, were at the center of shocking allegations. Accusations of insurance fraud, kickbacks, and involvement in a massive RICO lawsuit with a staggering 180 defendants surfaced. That's not just a legal case, that's practically a blockbuster lineup. Before we unravel all the drama, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for all the latest updates on this jaw-dropping story.
With mostly everything that's been said, I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
Let's break it down. The RICO Act, short for the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, was originally designed to target organized crime groups like mobsters. But this time, it's not the mafia under fire. It's doctors, surgeons, and entire medical practices. Think less Goodfellas *, and more Grey's Anatomy *, but with a hefty dose of fraud. According to the lawsuit, Dr. Hostin and his colleagues are accused of orchestrating a scheme to manipulate the healthcare system. The allegations: taking kickbacks for unnecessary surgeries and billing insurance companies for procedures that may not have even taken place. Imagine patients undergoing operations, insurance companies footing the bill, and behind the scenes, money changing hands like it's a secret poker game in the operating room.
Life for this one. Orthopedic surgeon and husband for The View host Sunny Hostin has been named in a federal lawsuit alleging insurance fraud. She got on television. She run these women. Tell me why her husband is named in a lawsuit in insurance fraud. And I'm gonna show you exhibit. Let me say exhibit B. Can you show this to the jury? Roll it, Nick. Doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance. What? And they're talking about threatening him with insurance fraud. I would say you could get about 20 years in prison, so that's a death sentence for him.
Here's where things get really interesting. The lawsuit accuses Dr. Hostin of accepting financial kickbacks to recommend or perform arthroscopic surgeries, those minimally invasive procedures using a camera to examine joints. While these surgeries might seem perfectly legitimate, the claim suggests that some weren't medically necessary at all. So the big question is, were these patients truly in need of knee or shoulder surgeries, or was it all about the money? If the allegations are true, it's a betrayal on another level. Patients putting their trust in a doctor, only to discover they may have been used as part of a cash grab scheme. It's the kind of betrayal that cuts deep, literally.
The people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange.
On the other side, we have the American Transit Insurance Company, the plaintiff in this case, claiming they were defrauded out of millions. They allege they were charged for surgeries that either never took place or weren't necessary. It's like paying for premium service and getting something completely subpar. But let's not forget, insurance companies don't exactly have spotless reputations either. They've been called out for underpaying doctors, denying legitimate claims, and finding every loophole to avoid payouts. So the real question is this lawsuit an attempt to uncover a massive healthcare scam? Or is it just a struggling insurance company trying to shift the blame and save itself from financial ruin?
To a new lawsuit obtained by Page Six, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influenced and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft.
Dr. Hostin's lawyer, Daniel Thwaites, came out swinging, dismissing the lawsuit as a baseless attempt by American Transit Insurance to claw back its financial losses. He labeled it a desperate move by a company on the brink of collapse, shifting the narrative to paint the insurer as the real bad actor. It's a classic legal strategy, counterattack when under fire, and it's certainly keeping the saga alive and intense. But that's not all. Media critics have jumped in, accusing The View of blatant hypocrisy for not addressing the controversy surrounding Hostin's husband. The backlash is adding even more fuel to this already blazing scandal.
Hostin's husband, Dr. Manny, is now in the press,
Terrible.
being named in a lawsuit, in a RICO suit, basically for taking kickbacks for some medical procedures, I think in the form of like Uber rides and all these things. Do you think this has any legs to it? They're a high-profile couple. Could he be being targeted for that reason?
People sent me that article, and I'm like so far from being a lawyer. I don't really understand what he did, even like other than it's insurance fraud. You know, if he has done something illegal, I believe in the law. You know, he should pay the consequences. It's terrible. I mean, it's horrible. I don't keep in touch with her. She's been kind of shady to me and social media and on Watch What Happens Live of all things. And I was really surprised because I thought we had a good relationship. She went on Watch What Happens Live and was unkind. And so for me, it's just better to not have anything to do with any.
We're quick to point out the irony. Sunny Hostin, known for calling out others for similar offenses, is now facing a scandal tied to her husband. While Dr. Hostin fights for his reputation in court, Sunny has chosen to stay silent. This is unusual for someone who's never been afraid to tackle tough topics or stir up controversy. So, what's behind the quiet? Is she standing by her husband, keeping her distance, or simply waiting for her legal team's advice? Fans are buzzing with speculation. Some think she's protecting her public image, while others believe she's avoiding the spotlight to prevent becoming a target herself. But here's the real twist. Dr. Hostin is just one of 180 defendants in this case. The lawsuit implicates other doctors, medical practices, and even hospitals. If these accusations hold up, this could turn out to be one of the largest medical fraud scandals in history. A web of corruption exploiting loopholes in the healthcare system for millions, leaving patients and insurance companies to foot the bill. This story feels straight out of a heist movie, but instead of vaults and banks, the target is insurance premiums. At its core, this case brings up a critical issue. How much trust can we have in a healthcare system where money seems to come before patient care? When doctors and insurance companies prioritize profits over people, that trust starts to crumble. Patients deserve to feel safe walking into a doctor's office, not like they're stepping into a financial scheme. And let's not ignore the possibility that American Transit Insurance Company, ATIC, might be using this lawsuit to cover up their own financial troubles. If true, it's like adding fuel to an already blazing fire. Right now, it's all allegations. Dr. Hostin hasn't been proven guilty. But the courtroom battle is heating up, and both sides are gearing up for a fight. Whether Dr. Hostin is found innocent or guilty, this case has already exposed some unsettling realities about the healthcare and insurance industries that can't be ignored. It's more than just one doctor or one lawsuit. It's a reflection of a system that many feel has lost its way. When financial incentives seem to take precedence over patient care, the very foundation of trust between patients and their healthcare providers starts to erode. Think about it. As patients, we rely on doctors to have our best interests at heart.
Hostin's husband, Dr. Manny, is now in the press,
Terrible.
being named in a lawsuit, in a RICO suit, basically for taking kickbacks for some medical procedures. I think in the form of like Uber rides and all these things. Do you think this has any legs to it? They're a high-profile couple. Could he be being targeted for that reason?
People sent me that article, and I'm like so far from being a lawyer. I don't really understand what he did, even like other than it's insurance fraud. You know, if he has done something illegal, I believe in the law. You know, he should pay the consequences. It's terrible. I mean, it's horrible. I don't keep in touch with her. She's been kind of shady to me and social media and on Watch What Happens Live of all things. And I was really surprised because I thought we had a good relationship. She went on Watch What Happens Live and was unkind. And so for me, it's just better to not have anything to do with.
But here's the thing, it's still early days. Dr. Hostin hasn't been found guilty, and the allegations against him remain just that, allegations. The courtroom battle is heating up, and both sides are gearing up for a fight. Dr. Hostin's lawyer has already come out swinging, calling the lawsuit a desperate and baseless attempt by ATIC to recover losses. Meanwhile, media scrutiny is intensifying, not just on Dr. Hostin, but also on his wife, Sunny Hostin, who has remained notably silent throughout this ordeal. Sunny, known for her outspoken nature on The View has often criticized others for actions similar to those her husband is now accused of. Her decision to stay quiet has sparked widespread speculation. Is she standing by her husband? Is she distancing herself to protect her public image? Or is she simply waiting for legal advice before making any statements? Whatever her reasons, the silence is loud, and it's adding another layer of intrigue to an already dramatic story. If you've made it this far, thank you for sticking with us. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates on this unfolding story. We'll be here to break it all down, piece by piece, as it happens. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and take care. Peace.